let's see if we can start this. I got another 2 minutes. Let's present this. Can you guys hear me? Couple of bits and pieces to fix. Oh man, that flicker again. It's driving me nuts. Why does it do this? Alright. Sorry guys about the flicker. I don't know. It's all these windows that keep on going. Back and forth. I have to have a window with Zoom. I have to have a window with YouTube. Next time I'll probably have another computer here so that it doesn't flicker. So we're gonna start in a couple more minutes. Give people the option to join in if they want to. Let me see if I can load this here. That might be interesting. Alright, so yeah, I can see the chat here. Hopefully it's not gonna flicker much. Let's put a placeholder which doesn't show. This is Sergey. That's our Alright, let's start. Let's get this thing going. So, going there, so we can start our little presentation and we can start the process as well. Welcome to everybody. This is going to be a community hangout for the 11th of November, the 16th of November, and we're also going to live release RC3 for version 4. And we're going to do the process again and again and again, as we have done before. I went through a couple of windows, as you saw a little bit earlier, just to see that I can see Sergey, I can see the code and the presentation. So, without further ado, let's begin. Normal as before. This is our agenda. Of course, we thank you everybody that is attending. We thank all the community and the contributors. We're going to give you a status update since the last hangout. We're going to live release RC3. We're going to talk a little bit about GitHub sponsors, documentation, dev tools, and then we're going to have a quick Q&A. Again, huge thanks to our community, and I can see that my face is on top of the little links, so let's see if I can shut that off. There you go. So these are our the links for our social media presence. You can go to the first link. You're gonna see who is contributing just to the C Phalcon repository. Of course, we have contributors into other repositories as well, such as the incubator, DevTools, especially the documentation with huge effort by our translators. If you want to talk to us, you can do so in our Discord and forum. The support link is there for financial support. And then we have Telegram, Gab, MeWe, Parler, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, and then the three streaming services, BitChute Library, and YouTube. Whichever you like, you're gonna find us there. We would like to thank a lot of people. I'm just picking up some of the usual suspects that you might see: Cameron, Arhel, Egmsted, Jackerson, Balas. Sorry, the Zbilli is difficult for me to pronounce. And of course, many others. Fenikusu is one of them as well that I forgot to put here. Thank you to everybody for helping us with Phalcon, finding bugs, issuing pull requests, and all that. Right now we have 4 open pull requests. 3 are for 4.1 and 1 is work in progress. We have 107 open issues. This is a little bit up from the last RC3. There's around 5 more issues. One of them is not a bug. The other ones are, I think they are a bug. I've looked at them, but I haven't been able to verify them. The latest one that came up this morning had to do with a particular naming of a field in the model. So if your field name is source, then it interferes with the actual source, the database table of the model. And this seems to be a bug, so I'll just have to write a test, verify it, and then fix it. In our project, we have, as usual, 6 to-do cards. The 4 of them are in the apps and the documentation, so info or documents and all that stuff. We have 4 in progress. 2 of them are for apps, and we have 721 done. That is. I think it's close to 40 cards since the last Hangout. So yeah, we have RC3 today, which is great, and we have made significant progress in the documentation and the DevTools. Again, usual card here. You always see this. We would like to thank a lot our translators and people that want to help us by offering some translations to the documentation. I'm probably gonna massacre their names, so I apologize. One of them is JP and the other one is Farad, I believe. You guys know who you are. We had some significant traction in Korean and in Farsi, in Persian. So these 2 guys have respectively translated the whole Phalcon website in those languages, and I see there's action going on in the documentation. Huge thanks to these guys for trying to spread Phalcon and help other developers that are not English speaking with understanding how the framework works. Again, very quickly, we only translate v4 documents. All translations have to be approved by a proofreader. Then crowding automatically pushes those translations to our repository, and then we merge the pull request, and the content becomes live. Once we've done that, I think it's at the end of the night, Algolia crawls the site, and then we have our search done. This was supposed to be RC3. Sorry for the header. It's RC. Yep. it's RC2, but yeah, we're talking about RC3. We're going to do a release candidate 3. We've introduced something new. It's PSR 13. For those that do not know, it's hypermedia links. That is the standard for PSR 13, and you could create any links that you want with full compliance to the PSR interfaces. We offer a link, evolvable link, as well as the link provider and evolvable link provider, and those implementations are under the HTTP namespace. Also, I believe it was Balas that did this. Huge thanks to, if I'm making a mistake, I apologize. It's been a while since I last saw this. There has been the introduction of the has one through relationship. So traditionally the relationships are one-on-one, so one field here, one field there, if you're doing the has many to many. But you can now use the has one through, so you can have a one-on-one relationship and the intermediate table has 2 fields. Also, the Paginator the model Paginator has had a couple of changes and enhancements. You can now pass a whole model into it, and it will do what it needs to do. It's more intuitive, a little bit better to understand how it works. Around 20 fixes of different things, from the DI to the models to the container, and so on and so forth. And we removed the syslog formatter because it was honestly, it was useless. It wasn't doing much, and thank you to the people that brought this to our attention. You know, you can log to the syslog using the line formatter or using your own formatter. So this was just a useless class that we just removed, truth be told. All right, a little bit, again, this is RC3, it's not the RC2. Sorry, I forgot to change the header. So as I mentioned, under the HTML namespace, you're gonna find the link and the evolvable link, and you can create all the hypermedia links that you require based on the application needs. We said goodbye to the logger formatter syslog. We made a couple of changes to the storage serializer JSON, as well as the collection components. There was an issue with storing an array into the logger, or presenting an array to the logger. Storing an array to the cache, not the logger. And the JSON serializer was incorrectly interpreting that array. So now we made the change that if you pass an object to the serializer and this object implements the JSON serializable, then it would actually call the relevant method. And the same change actually happened in the collection object. So now it actually parses data better, and it produces the necessary results. And again, I'm mentioning this too. The has one through is a new relationship. I'm not sure that I've documented the has one through yet in the documents. Oh yeah, I have not, because I haven't finished the relationships yet. So yeah, I'm getting there. All right. Should we actually talk about the GitHub sponsors, or should we start the release? Let's start the release, because we have a lot of things to wait for. And while we're waiting, we can talk about the GitHub sponsors. Alright, so let's switch to my buddy Sergey in the Ukraine. Hello from the US. Let me switch here. There's the master, the Zephyr master, and C Guru and all that. The guy that pushes the envelope all the time and pushes us to make Phalcon better every single day. So what we're gonna do is, for those that were not in the previous Hangout, we're gonna initiate the whole process of releasing RC3. So Sergey, if you want to share your screen, and we'll get through that. Sergey, can you hear me? Okay. So whenever you can, buddy, just share your screen so we can see all the goodies that you're doing. Okay? There you go. Okay, so there's a little bit of preparation going on here. We need to make sure that everything that will have to go into the release is supposed to be in the release, and we need to do a couple of prerequisites. We have to set up configuration variables so that the proper release is being built. That's why you see the RC3 that came up. Then a few visual things. You know, we have to change the changelog so that it now shows you the exact date that this has been released. And usually when this happens, the next commit would be to put a new line up there so that we have RC4, if we're going to get to that. So another check, we need to make sure that the version is correct from the Phalcon version. And then we just make sure that we check the AppVeyor. It's the service that builds our DLLs, that everything is correct. And in the last Hangout, what we did is we actually changed the Zephyr version as well. So all these things would have to be thoroughly checked, because we might have a new version of our parser, for instance, or we might have a new version of Zephyr, and so on and so forth. Okay. So all these checks have to happen before anything needs to be sent upstream. So what Sergey is gonna do now, he's gonna fully regenerate the code that Phalcon needs to be built. So what this does is it generates all the files, create all the files in the ext folder, which is used to build the DLLs and the debs and the whole extension. Okay. All right, so we got the generation of the files. As you can see, all of these files have been regenerated again, and at the very bottom, I don't know if you noticed that there's a few new files that came up, and you can see them somewhere. They were flying in. That it was the evolvable link and the link, the HTML. Those are the new ones. So this is what we have added, the new functionality. And whenever you add something new, they actually come in as brand new C files and header files. So we have to add those and just make sure that the ext folder is clean without any issues. Excuse me. The same thing happens if we remove something. We have to remove the relevant file, corresponding file from the ext folder. Okay. So this little script, the gen build, what it does is it picks up all the relevant files that we have for Phalcon, and it kind of like compresses and shrinks them, and it creates two files, a header file and a C file for both 32 and 64 bit versions, as well as a safe one, and those are the ones that are being primarily used to build the DLLs and to build our debs and RPMs and all that stuff. So by doing this little process to shrink everything, we're shrinking the extension as well. So we don't have a fully bloated file. I remember back in the day when Andres Gutierrez was working on the project, and we would build the extension from the ext folder versus those ones that you see here, the build folder. I think it was version 1, maybe somewhere there. The file that was being produced was 70 megabytes, the DLL. So yeah, it's important that we actually shrink the contents and just make sure that the extension is as small as possible for obvious reasons. While Sergey is doing that, I'm gonna load up the blog and start typing certain things here so that we can have a blog post after this. And guys, if you have any questions, by all means, just let us know in the chat. We'll get to them as soon as we can, because this is gonna be a little bit of a waiting game. If for those that have not watched the previous stream that we did, the live release, it is a little bit of a waiting game for us, because you have to wait for Travis to finish all the builds. And make sure that we got green all the way around, and once we do that, then we have to wait for the DLLs and all that stuff. Alright, so I'm just compiling here the blog post while Sergey is doing the work. There you go. We're checking that it's RC3 everywhere. So as you can see, we're opening the pull request just to make sure that everything is correct. way too many windows open. So there you go. The pull request is created, and we're gonna merge around 90 commits into master from the 4.0. 26,000 lines, 27,000 lines roughly added, and 15,000 lines, 15 and a half removed. It's great stuff. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're drafting a brand new release. And the reason we do it as a draft first is because we have to wait for the DLLs to be compiled, and then we put everything in one package, and that's how we publish it. So once everything is done completely. Let me see. This is the RC2. I'm working on my own screens here, so just want to make sure that everything is fine on this end as well, while I'm creating the blog post. Alright, so the build has been initiated in Travis, and as you see, we have yellow, so they start running. Right now we're just gonna have to wait until they are done. Okay, so now there's a little bit of preparation for the package cloud. This is, if you guys have not seen this before, this is the service that allows us to build RPMs and DEBs for Linux systems, so that you can install your application easier using your package manager. And this one is kind of like a slow process. Bear in mind that we mentioned this before in our previous Hangout / live release. We're using exactly the same account for the package cloud builds, as well as the C Phalcon builds in Travis, and as a result, we have to wait for one to finish for the other one to go. We have around 3 workers running available to our plan, and it's a free plan, and we haven't done this yet, but we are gonna contact Travis and maybe bump this up to maybe 6 if they can do that for us. Because if they can, then you're gonna have 6 workers running at the same time, which will compile the tasks much faster and would help us with the release. Alright, I think I'm done with blog post, I think. Alright, this is the Affair build that Sergey just clicked on. This is the service that actually builds our DLLs. There was some discussion to start using GitHub Actions to do this, but big if that would materialize, that would happen after v4 is released. We're not touching anything in terms of our build process for now. But the idea would be to have some good, more of an automated process that would do everything for us instead of using different services, which is what we're using right now. So we're using Appware and Travis, and we have GitHub and all that stuff. But if the GitHub Actions is able to help us do everything, then that would be great, because they definitely have support for different environments. Yes, I was gonna say this, Sergey. The reason that the package cloud builds have failed is because we have not published the release yet. This is a problem that we found. That you guys saw in the previous Hangout. In the previous Hangout, you have to wait until you do the full release. So we're gonna have to wait for the DLLs and all that stuff. And once that is done, then Package Cloud would have a tag to pick things up and then do everything. Yes, Anton, that's what I mentioned in the chat. Anton says, or use alternatives such as GitHub Actions or GitLab CI. We do have a free account from GitLab. They were really generous and they gave us the open source account, so we have increased limits to run these things. As soon as we have v4 released, GitLab is going to be used to produce Docker containers for us. We did mention this in previous Hangouts. We could leverage that to start building stuff like this too. I don't know. For now, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a research on our end. But the goal is for sure to make things as easy as possible for us in order to be able to release, versus waiting for an hour or so to to be able to release what we need to release. So that's why we're waiting there for Package Cloud to do whatever it needs to do, and we can't right now because we don't have a tag, and the tag would come only when everything is done on the release side. Let me save this. Alright, I'm gonna, while this is going on and we're waiting for the builds, I'm gonna switch real quick to the presentation and talk a little bit about GitHub sponsors while this thing is going on. Let's present this again. Okay, I think I know where the flicker is coming from in the end. If I have something streaming, then hold on a sec, exit full screen. If I have something streaming, then it starts flickering on the others in the other screens. So if I have a video playing in one of my screens, it starts flickering on the other ones. I think that's why. So I had to shrink Sergey's presentation for now on my secondary screen. Anyway, so GitHub sponsors, I just wanted to touch base on this. We did talk about this before. GitHub has introduced this sponsors project, and it was for individuals that have GitHub repositories, and you know they might want some support, and people might go and support what they do. This is similar to Open Collective or Patreon or all these other services. The great thing about GitHub sponsors was that for the first year there's no fees, and also GitHub would match any contribution, I think up to an amount of dollars or something like that. So that was for individuals. Of course, Phalcon is an organization, and you know that model would not work for us. So what we did is we contacted GitHub as soon as they opened an alpha version for this, and we've been talking to them for close to 3 to 6 months or something like that in a private repository on what the GitHub for organizations should do. Finally, they opened it, and they announced it this week that passed in their GitHub universe. And I was hoping that we could see our logo there, but unfortunately they didn't show it, which is fine. So now if you go to github.com/sponsors or click on our on one of our links. Come on, man, why are you flickering again? Maybe I don't have anything streaming here. Anyhow, so if you go to the GitHub sponsors, again, I apologize, guys, for this thing. I don't know what to do with this dang thing. Anyhow, so if you click on the sponsor button, this little heart sponsoring or sponsor thing that it's next to the unwatch button at the top right of any of our repositories, you're gonna end up in the GitHub sponsors page, where you can choose if you wish to contribute financially to the project, irrespective of what that contribution is, and irrespective of whether it's gonna be a one-time or many. So if you refresh that page, the sponsors, you're gonna end up at some point with the Phalcon. one. As you see it here, I took a screenshot of it. It's kind of like a random thing, and they promote different projects, of course. So that is pretty much how it's done, and all the funds that are being collected from GitHub, they're being pushed to the account that we have in Open Collective. We're not 100% sure on what happens with the fees, because Open Collective is really good. However, they charge some insane fees. They charge you $5 for hosting, and $5 for something else, and then they give you X% for the payment processing fee, and then another one. So out of the $100 that you might give, and I'm just using this as an example, the project will end up with 82, I think. I mean, it's quite a lot. So I mean, it's your hard-earned money that you choose to give to us, and they don't end up in the end, all of it anyway. So let's see. I mean, it's kind of like the beginning of this change here. We're hoping to be able to create a company ourselves, so an actual physical company with a proper bank account and all that stuff. And we're hoping to be able to have GitHub or Stripe just send the payment straight up, at which point we're going to have only the Stripe payment fees and nothing else, because apparently GitHub is not going to keep any of that money. They're going to give it to you for free. So we're going to have more funds to devote to the project. So you might ask, okay, well, what do you need the funds for? If you actually go to the GitHub sponsors page, let's see if I can pull it up here real quick. And let's see, is it bottom? Nope. This. Okay. So GitHub sponsors is this page over here, and you know, you just look at different things here. So if you refresh the page enough, down here where it says sponsored developers and organizations, you're gonna see Phalcon at some point. I don't know if we're gonna be lucky. Oh, there you go. Ah, dang it, I missed it. It was at the bottom. See, they like Flarum very much. There you go. There's Phalcon. Alright, so you could click on this, and of course it's going to get you to the GitHub repository. But if you click on the sponsoring, this one, the sponsors dashboard, you're not going to see it because this is just for my account. But if you click on the sponsors page, you're going to see github.com/sponsors/Phalcon, and we have a little bit of text here. Just shows you what we are about, where we need to go, and what we think of doing. And this is the last part, is the long-term goal to create a company. Pretty much what we're thinking of doing is we're thinking of helping developers as well with our product or the open source product, but also have the ability to have financial contributions from the community, but use part of that money to fund development. So we could hire somebody that would dedicate X amount of time per month to the project, and this one would definitely increase the responsiveness that we have in fixing bugs, as well as increase the releases and all that. And we want to do the same thing with Zephyr, and make Zephyr pretty much the de facto language for building PHP extensions, right? So all these things are short and long-term goals, right? Now let's see, what did I want to do? I had a little window somewhere there. This one. Okay. I'm just briefly looking at the chat. Hello to everybody that is here. Vibonacci, Anton, Izo, Diplopito. Hello to everybody. And let's go there, and I'm gonna shrink this window again because it seems whenever I load YouTube it starts flickering again. I don't know why. Or maybe it's this thing here. Let me just exit this mode. And we just have it like this. No? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try and get through this real quick so we don't have the flicker, and then we'll switch over to Sergey's screen so that we can see how the build process is going on. So for the documentation, I'm really excited to say that we have only 5 documents to rewrite. From the 40-some documents that it was a few months back, finally we have only 5 left. Yay! So we have 2 documents to be reviewed, the second pass that have already been rewritten, and the ones remaining are the firewall, the ACL firewall that we have, the model relationships, and this ties to what I was talking earlier about the has one through. I need to do the DevTools page, which I'm gonna have to wait for Jefferson to have the DevTools pretty much spot on, and then I can take screenshots and all that. I need to write the tutorial for the REST API that we have, and the tutorial for Invo, maybe, I don't know, I'm not 100% convinced that we need to put resources and effort in Invo. I do see the need for this application because it has different implementations, especially with dispatcher forwarding and different ACL cases and all that, but for now I just left it as last, so I'm not gonna touch it for now. Next is this. Alright, so for DevTools and the stubs, it's still a work in progress. Jefferson is leading the effort, and of course we thank him a lot for this. He's helping a lot with all the stuff that we need to do here. Okay, so for the DevTools, we have a few things that we need to do, and this is the plan that we have. This morning we introduced CodeCov for the DevTools so that we see code coverage and ensure that every part of the DevTools is being executed and is tested. And currently we're working, I'm using actually Jefferson is doing this, but I'm taking it as a whole team, as if you like, all of us together. So I'm not trying to diminish the work that Jefferson is doing by no means, right? So what we're trying to do right now is to actually run every single command that the DevTools offers using v4 and ensure that the outcome that we get, whether this is a brand new controller or a brand new class, model and all that stuff, whatever DevTools does, that it does it and it produces the expected result. And we're not going to do anything else with this particular version. As soon as this, we are happy that any command that we put into DevTools for version 4 produces the result that we expect, that's it. We're going to stop the development on DevTools for v4. The same thing with migrations. We're going to make sure, we have already split the migrations into their own repository. We have to make sure that they're stable for version 4. And as soon as all these done, we're kind of like gonna freeze everything. Okay. As soon as v4 is out, then here comes the fun, because there's a slew of enhancements and ideas on how the DevTools and the migrations can help. and that's when we're gonna start putting our attention to ensure that that both these little products, if you like, introduce everything that we need to do and help developers. Quickly looking at the chat, yeah, the Git Push is something that is really interesting for me. And it's funny that Sergey did this. For me, I did the GTI push. So anytime that I type GTI instead of Git, it uses Git, which is hilarious because I type it more than once. And hello to Paul from the Philippines. Again, hello to Izo, Fibonacci, Diplopito, Anton, and everybody else that is watching this this live. All right, so the last thing here is the Q&A and the thank you. So this is pretty much the presentation done. Let me see if I can switch to my buddy Sergey. Can I flick the zoom? Not this one. Not this one. What is this? All right. Let's see. Nope. This. Alright, it's flickering like mad, so I don't know what is going on. Again. Sorry guys, again. So what we're doing is, alright, the build process is continuing, and the DLLs are being built slowly through Upveyor. So the goal is to actually show what is going on here, and show you how much we have to wait for every DLL to be built and the whole process to be done. So this is the release. If you recall earlier, we had this pull request that we send in, and all these 4 tasks that need to be done. All right. So while we're waiting for this, a couple of questions in the chat. I don't know, man, about the flickering. Sorry. I don't know. It's some stupid thing. It might be the driver that I have, the graphics driver, but I usually use the latest NVIDIA ones, so not sure why it's happening. Could be happening from OBS, the streaming software. Please bear with me. I just haven't been able to figure it out. I thought that it was one thing, and apparently it isn't. So, to Weil Kastenberger. Sorry if I destroyed your name. Ella. Yeah, sure. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm at home and the wife is calling us. So, all right, when is the full release planned for V4? This is something that I answered yesterday on Discord as well. So we're releasing RC3 today now, and we had a good number of bugs found and fixed, and inconsistencies and all that stuff, right? The status right now is, as I mentioned, we have 5 documents to revise. We're not going to release V4 unless all the documentation is done. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the documentation is perfect, but at least it's 100 times better than it was before, because there were times that we had documents that had not been touched since version 2, and there was a lot of how should I put it? a lot of features missing from the documents. People had to go and scour through the code to just try and find what is going on. Okay. Now, so these 5 documents have to be done. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have them done by the end of the month. We have, well, maybe not, because I'm gonna be off for 1 week for holidays. Anyway, I'll give my best. I'll try my best to do everything that that we can. So let's say we have those 5 documents. There are a few issues in GitHub that we need to figure out and address them. That should take a day or 2, depending on how fast we find the issues and whether they are issues indeed, right? So once we have those things done, I'm thinking, well, we're into December. And if we are into December, the question becomes, should we just release it when we're there, or should we just wait for Christmas to release it, since last year Christmas Day was the day that we released the first version of v4, the first alpha version. So it's definitely gonna be this year, and most likely it seems that it's gonna be December. Okay. It also we also have to ensure that the dev tools are done, and a couple of other bits and pieces, low-hanging fruit. Okay. So that's the question. So Pedro Costa, have you guys ever thought about making Phalcon asynchronous just like Swool? Yes, we have already done some work, not a lot, but some work. I've presented this a few Hangouts back. The idea for Phalcon would be that when you're typing in Zephyr, instead of writing for item in collection, just to do that, you're gonna do for async item in collection. So it's the new async word is gonna be implemented so that you can have a synchronous generation, and that would tie in with the generators that PHP 7 offers with the yield keyword in order to produce asynchronous results. So definitely this is something that we have thought about, and there has been a little bit of work, but we had other things going at the same time. We had other things going at the same time in Zephyr, so we kind of like put it a little bit on the back burner. Look at Diplopita, oh my goodness, this guy is amazing. He just had RC3 on Windows. He just downloaded the whole thing. This thing, just see. Nope. Not this one. Bottom right corner. I'm wondering if I move this to top right, would that actually help? So give me a sec, guys. Let me just put original size. Or where's my video panel? Can I move this thing? Exit full screen. If I put it here, will it work? And let me go top right. Nope. Top left. No. Bottom left. Okay, this one. I have to rename my my scenes on OBS. Bottom left is not actually bottom left, it's somewhere else. So let's see if that one helps a little bit with the flicker. I don't know, maybe it's one of my monitors. Not sure. Okay, now what you're looking at here, have different frame rates for your monitors and OBS. Most likely, my monitors are just one huge screen. They're not 4 separate monitors. So what you have on monitor 1, you should have on monitor 2 as well. But yeah, I'll definitely I'll ping you, Anton, after the stream, so we can figure this thing out. I mean, I don't know. This thing has been driving me nuts for a number of Hangouts, and I haven't been able to figure it out yet. Pedro, sure, absolutely. Yeah, async is something that everybody is looking for. I personally, I see async as a blessing and a curse at the same time, because if you have a good design, async can just pretty much kill it. You're gonna have a huge boost in performance, but if you have a bad design, you pretty much destroyed your whole application. So anyway, so right now we have as you're looking at here, we're having the AppVeyor built. We have 3 more DLLs to be built. For those that were not with us in the previous Hangout, what AppVeyor does is it picks up the code from the repository, and then it fires up different Visual Studio environments and starts building the DLL for thread safe, non-thread safe, x86 to x84, and that's how we end up with having them. The engine is VC15, and there's also the distinction between PHP version 7.2 and version 7.3. So 7.2 is pretty much done. We're waiting for the last 3 of 7.3 to be done. So there you go. Sergey is actually showing how this whole AppVeyor setup is done with this YAML file. So we're instructing that we need 4 builds going at the same time. The problem is that we have only one worker, one job worker for AppVeyor, so we have to wait one after another. If we had 4 or 3, you know, this would have been much faster, of course. So there you go. There's one done. So it usually takes around 2 to 3 minutes to do everything. To do one build, rather. I got 2 more. And again, once the two DLLs are done, then we're going to be able to publish this as a brand new release, which would be the celebration, the hooray, and all that stuff. Damn this flicker. And then once we have that, then we're going to be able to fire the package cloud build, because we are going to have a tag at the time. And once that is done, then the DLLs and the debs are gonna start working. No, we're not from Poland. I'm from the United States. Sergey is from the Ukraine. Ruud is from the Netherlands. I know Anton is Portugal. Diplopito is wandering around. Last time I heard he was in Greece or in Italy, somewhere. So Paul is Philippines right now. Pedro Costa, I don't know. Also, anyway, any thoughts about PHP 8 and GIT compiler? We have not touched anything with regards to PHP 8. Our main focus once v4 is out is to ensure that we're working perfectly with PHP 7.4, because that's going to be the one that will come right after that. I think it's in alpha or beta or whatever. From what we know, Phalcon is compiling fine with PHP 7.4, but we need to make sure that everything is working the minute they decide to release the 7.4 being stable. We want to make sure that everything is working as expected. To add to what I'm saying is that if you see the documentation, PHP 7.2 is the minimum requirement for Phalcon v4. So we're starting to push more towards aligning with PHP versions to ensure that we do not have PHP 5 that has been deprecated or not supported for the last, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. So we're moving very close to the PHP versions, and we want to make sure that once a new PHP version is released, that's when we actually have support for Phalcon, because there's people that upgrade very quickly and there's people that wait. We just want to make sure that everybody is okay with the new versions. So for now, nothing to do with PHP 8. It's extremely early days for now, but it is on our radar. It's not something that we're ignoring. Alright, so the next DLL should be ready within the next, I would say, 30 to 40 seconds, based on what the build times are there. And once that is done, we're just gonna hit the little button. Dun dun dun, suspense. Yeah, so it's getting ready to do that. There we go. So the last DLL to download, and then it's celebration time. Okay. Alright, so the last one to be added. The non-thread safe one. Yep. RC3 NTS. That's the one. Alright, so the last upload. Final check, just to make sure that we have what we need. And it's time for the celebration, guys. Woohoo! RC3 is out. Yay! Excellent work. Thank you everybody for all this hard work from from the contributors, from people that have been just issuing bugs and showing us, you did this right and you did this wrong and all that, documentation, everything. Thank you so much. This is awesome. So, all right, what do we need to do now? From what I understand, package cloud should be going on right now, right? Sergey, you're such a gangster, man. You're awesome. Way to go, guys. Yep, that's the release, and now it's the merge. Yay! Some bits and pieces here to work on. Let's see. To window, better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. We couldn't see the bottom part of Sergey's screen, I think. Just a quick check. Yep, there's a 4.3 tag there. Yeah, 104. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It says that you've done this 21 days ago. I don't know, is GitHub drunk or something? There you go, RC3. It's there. What? I don't know. I don't know why this thing happened. Yeah, they have the same date. What, we created a tag on the same endpoint, on the same commit rather. That's interesting. Well, there you go. But the problems of maintainers. I think it's capital, maybe. There you go. Alright, so we're just gonna have to figure this thing out again. So, new tag. Good thing is that we already have all the files, so we're done. We don't have to wait. Yes, the master branch was not updated properly. That was the mistake when we created this. Okay, so pre-release and yeah. Now that it's exactly now that there was a merge. Now that the merge did happen in the master branch, creating the tag actually picked up the RC3 versus RC2. So you have to merge it first into your master branch, and then it will pick it up properly from there. We actually did it a little bit faster, so one step was not as correct, if you like, as before. So now it's the time to do the DLL, the package cloud stuff. Good thing that we caught this, so it's very easy to make this tiny mistake, and then lo and behold, you're pretty much stuck. You're releasing exactly the same version for both. So that one should be the first one to run again. Contributors, yay! We did get to 10,000. Yes, I was gonna talk about this. This was awesome. So yesterday I was looking at the stars. This is awesome, guys. Yesterday I was looking at the stars, and I saw it was 9 point something, and I thought to myself, well, are we close to 10,000? So when I clicked on the stars, it actually said that it was 9,950. That was last night. And this morning is 10,000. Yay! Actually, I'm going to put this in the blog post. That would be awesome. Let me go and take a little screenshot. Yes. I'm easily amused. So let me take a little screenshot here while we're waiting for that thing to start. save this. All right. So in the blog post, go here, change it to let me insert new image from upload new. I'm working on the other screen on the blog post, and I can flip that over actually to show you how I'm doing it. So hold on a sec, let me just change real quick. This one, yep. So this one is the little UI that we have in order to write blog posts. We can write them as pull requests straight to the repo. This is all markdown, but Netlify has a CMS that gives us this ability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, grab this, which I just uploaded, and choose selected, and then I'm going to flip it over again to markdown, and then take this. Okay, we stream this one. So where should I put this? Here, right there. Put it there. So yeah. Let's do this. Just scroll down a little bit to where? Yeah, that should be okay. Alright, so while we're doing this, I'm gonna save this. And also I need to get something stargazers. These are all the people that have started. Okay. Stargazers. What do I need to show? Is it this one or this one? This one. Okay. Thank you to everyone. Let's put it here. Alright, so let me save this again. And that's saved. It's ready, and it's ready to be published. Okay, and it should come up soon here. And then I'll need to flip over to the social media sites and just get everything done. So let me switch the screen to that. P2. 9952. Are you sure, man? Is it? 9951. So one of them. Oh man. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna take that out. I got excited for no reason. Well, either way, we're gonna get to 10,000. So, I mean, I'm not that worried about it. So, yeah, I think Wyola was correct. When I saw it yesterday, it was 9950. So the minute 9951 came up, they rounded it up to 10,000. Actually, I'll take that off because I like to be accurate, rather. So let me just take that out for now, and we're gonna have another blog post that will have the 10,000 stars. So let's this one save. And then ready, publish now. And let's see, what else do I need to do? Get this guy up here. Oh man. Anyway, it's okay. We're perfectly fine. Very soon we're gonna have the 10,000 mark. So we got good likes over there. That should be fine. So post now. That's done there. And now we have to go to the MeWe. And we have to go to groups. This one here. Paste. Post. Okay. Now I have to go to Parlor, a different window, and then go to Gab, different window, and let's get this guy over there. So create post, Phalcon news, put this thing in there, paste, add reactions, this, add URL buttons, so forum, Discord, next. Alright, so send now, send, ta-da! So that one is posted there, and then we have F2, go here, Settings, fetch feed, dashboard, edit, and this one is, it's published. Oh wow, how is this published already? Okay, that's interesting. I thought that I had to do this. Okay, I guess it's already published. .11.16, yeah, that's the one. Okay, so if we go to Phalcon PHP framework, there's the release. Actually, no. This is the wrong one. So let me see. There you go. That's the one. That's the one that I was looking for. That's why I was not is not. That's why I was saying, well, why was it published? You usually have to do this, and don't worry. While it's okay, man. I mean, we're 10K is very quick to get. So all right, we're gonna do Phalcon released, blah blah blah, and save changes. Feed source has already been taken. Okay. So let's go back to the dashboard. So probably because there's two of them here. So let's delete this guy and let's edit this guy and make it true here, and then remove this little tag here, and then we just say saving. Ta-da! So we're now on dev 2 as well. Last but not least is Reddit. So if we go to blog, go here, copy this, and then copy this. Post. Alright, so that's all our social media. Okay. And there's me. Hi. Alright guys, so this concludes our release. Unless you guys have any questions that we can answer. It took 1.5 hours, as you see, with the mistakes and all that stuff. So let's what we're gonna do is we're gonna regroup here and start pushing hard for the last few documents, dev tools that I mentioned, and the last few bugs. Of course, if anybody has some time and wants to help with a bug or two, you never know. But joking apart, thank you so much to everybody. Thank you for watching this stream live, and more on Discord forum or our social media. Thank you once more, and I now have to figure out where my YouTube is so that I can switch it off. Oh gosh. Alright, I found it. Alright, thank you everybody, and have a blessed evening. Bye.